that you've turned 40 or maybe 50 or 60, you know you're not supposed to be living off of Cheez-Its and Gushers like you did in high school. But what are you supposed to be eating anyways? There is so much information out there. Well, I'm here to tell you the 5 best foods to be eating in your 40s and beyond. Definitely stay until the end because I'm going to be dribbling in a lot of practical tips to help you incorporate these foods into your daily life. May here, nerdy dietitian, a functional medicine practitioner, and personal health detective. I love helping busy people look and feel their very best in their 40s, 50s, and beyond. If you haven't already, grab my must-have food guide. It's got all the things to get you started from pantry lists to recipes so that you can really start feeling your best. I'll be honest, it was really hard to come up with just 5 foods because there's so many great foods out there. I stuck with the basic criteria of what I've been talking about in my videos all along is foods that lower inflammation, that support your metabolism, and number 3, really help balance your hormones during this transition period of your life, from perimenopause to menopause. And for men out there, menopause is real too. Quick caveat, if you're working with a practitioner or you already know you have food sensitivities or allergies or GI issues with some of these foods, definitely listen to your body, listen to your practitioner. These are just general guidelines. My first best food to eat in perimenopause and menopause are sardines. Oh, I know, they're stinky, they're smelly, they're fishy, but give them a chance. Everyone who's ever worked with me, whether it's a client or a coworker, knows that they have to at least try sardines once, just once. Sardines are one of the best sources of omega-3s. We know that omega-3s influence prostaglandin production, which also is a type of signaling molecule like hormones that actually do affect hormones. So we want omega-3s to be high in the diet, and most people aren't getting enough omega-3s, which is why there's fish oil on the market. Sardines are small, so they also don't have a lot of mercury, which we're concerned about now that our oceans are all polluted. Another thing about sardines that I love is that they are high in calcium if you're getting bone in. Slightly crunchier, but totally worth it if you don't mind the crunch. What's your favorite sardine recipe? Try out sardines and let me know what you tried, how you tried them. And I'm going to be posting my favorite recipe on Instagram very soon, so keep an eye out. My next best food to eat in perimenopause and menopause are flax seeds. Flax seeds actually do contain phytoestrogens, which help to compete for estrogen in the body and have a lowering estrogen effect for people who are estrogen dominant. In fact, a lot of women who are transitioning into perimenopause and menopause, their progesterone starts dropping and it makes them more estrogen dominant, which isn't so good from a weight loss inflammation standpoint. So we want to be balancing our hormones with flax seeds. Now, flax seeds do need to be ground up so that the oils in them are more absorbable, but if you're going to grind them, make sure to store ground flax in the fridge in a dark container so that the oils don't go rancid. If you're adding flax to smoothies, just remember, if you add too much, you're going to get a goopy mess. So just be careful with the total quantity. Third best food to eat during menopause and perimenopause is bok choy sauteed in garlic. And no, I'm not just saying that because I'm Asian, okay? I want you to think of me as an Asian eating bok choy sauteed in garlic as a mnemonic to remember anything in the sulfur-rich category of plant-based foods, mainly anything in the onion and cabbage family. Remember, all your hormones, including the ones you make, have to be detoxed through your liver, and sulfur is a super, super important part of liver detox. Now, if cabbage makes you toot, try sauteing it. Number 2, if all of the above don't work, you can go with the sprouts. Do some broccoli sprouts, which are actually amazing for you. All right, third best food for supporting menopause and perimenopause. You guys are gonna love this. It's chocolate. Now, 2 things I want to talk about chocolate because I don't want you to say, May told me I could bust out all my Halloween candy and eat it every day. No, we want to go with number 1, it has to be real, which means the less sugar, the darker the chocolate. So you gotta go with at least 75% chocolate or above. If it says dark chocolate but no percentage, that's not good enough. Number 2, it has to be the right quantities. It is possible, very possible, to overdose on chocolate. So we always use the thumb, the top of your thumb, 2 to 4 thumbnails a day max of something like a 75% chocolate is a great start. I personally love Trader Joe's 100% organic chocolate chips. in a trail mix or on a yogurt. The reason why chocolate's so amazing is that the catechins in chocolate help you produce nitric oxide, which helps you vasodilate. This is why people like to give chocolate during Valentine's Day. I'm turning red, so that's all I'm going to say about that. Okay, too much information. If you're trying to get away from sugar and you still really do love chocolate, but not really that dark of chocolate, I highly recommend my favorite chocolate that has 0 sugar. It's called FX chocolate, sweetened with allulose. It is super awesome because they add in some additional ingredients that make it more like a supplement and makes those supplements even more absorbable. I'll link them below, but DM me if you want some coupon codes because they're kind of pricey, but that definitely ensures that you won't be overdosing on them. I love that they're single serving too. Last but not least, my favorite food for women in perimenopause and menopause are fermented vegetables. This is your sauerkraut, your kimchi, anything that you make from home in a salt brine. I love pickles, but anything in a vinegar base doesn't have as much benefit to your microbiome. It's all those bacteria living in those fermented foods that make our microbiome super diverse. There was a study on eating fermented vegetables versus eating just a lot of plant foods, and they found that that added layer of fermented vegetables really help diversify the microbiome, which we know is super important for managing inflammation, healing the gut. It's also critical for a good metabolism. Treat your fermented vegetables like a condiment because they are pretty high in sodium. I had a client once that was like, oh, you told me to eat fermented vegetables. I eat like 2 cups a day. And I'm like, ooh, that's a lot of salt, right? And I love salt. Only 15% of people really are salt sensitive. But again, stick to more like a few tablespoons and you'll still reap the benefits. If you're wondering how to personalize your diet even further, I want to encourage you to have a strategy call with me. I am creating a brand new group program. So if you're interested in learning more about that, hop on a strategy call. I'll link it below. That's a wrap. You guys are awesome. Keep up the great work. I want to hear all about how you're eating these foods on a weekly basis. And make sure to check out my other videos in the meantime while you're waiting for my next one.